Today's episode of Mark Who 42's WHOniverse is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/MarkWho42. There are over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. You lucky guys. That's www.audibletrial.com/MarkWho42. And now, here's the show.
Hi, this is Arlene-tur, the character dr-vera-juarez from Torchwood Miracle Day, and you're listening to Mark Who 42.
Mark Who 42.
The WHOniverse.
Bienvenidos, muchachos y muchachas, a Mark Who 42 WHOniverse, un programa de Doctor Who. As you can see, or as you can hear, Mark is not available at the moment. He's on another assignment. I am your temporary and very appropriate for this episode host, Eduardo-m-Freyre. And with me, as always, is...
Patricia-helm.
I'm still catching up. My Risotto has not caught up to this thing yet. I don't even know what you said at the beginning. I think you said the umbrella was working. I have no idea.
Yeah, see, this is why... Forget Rosetta Stone, Christian-basel. What you need to do is you need to spend a lot of time with the Latin people, and you need to hear them speak naturally. You do not need the little computer program.
Sounds like Pepe Le Pew. Anyway. Bienvenidos. Yo, señor Cristiano-basel. Dun, 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 dun.
You know what? We'll take that. If my grandmother was around, she probably would have given you a funny look, Christian, but we'll take that.
Speedy Gonzalez.
But we could talk about Christian's Spanish language skills all day. But first... we are going to go to Doctor Who News with the Doctor Who correspondent, Patricia-helm. And I know what you're thinking. Where is the regular British voiceman? Well, today, with Doctor Who WHOniverse, we are going to take a Latin beat. So we gave him un vacacion. Give us the news, Senora Patricia.
Hey, I'm still a senorita.
Sounds like we're in Transylvania. We're still doing the Halloween episode.
Mr. Basil, do not make me come over there.
Bite me.
So is everybody getting ready for Christmas?
Yeah, I'd like to pretend and say, yes, I'm completely ready, and then find out that I have a few more things to get.
I'm pretty much ready. Why? Don't tell me there's somebody I forgot on my list. I could have sworn I had everybody.
I think I'm done too, finally. But we've been getting some little hints around being dropped by Moffat about the Christmas special, about last Christmas. And one of the things that Moffat is saying is that unlike other Christmas specials where it's kind of just, a one-off where they really don't address anything else that's happened in previous episodes, that in this one, they're actually going to be addressing how the last episode ended, with the lies that the Doctor and Clara were telling to each other, that it's actually going to be addressed, and it actually forms the emotional core of the episode.
Really?
That should be interesting, because, it would be weird if he just shows up, it's going to be 6 months later, and that they don't talk about the fact that, where's Danny? Or, why aren't you on Gallifrey? It should be interesting. Did you guys see some of the clips and trailers that have been posted?
Yeah, I've seen all the little... I gotta say, the one with Santa arriving on the scene, wow. Way to make Santa be like a boss. Toy army, coming in there, all swagger, and what seems to be the problem? Wow. Santa badass. That is so cool.
Add Santa.
That gives me hope, at least for the Nick Frost portions of the special.
I saw in one of the advertisements for all the holiday shows on BBC, there was actually a clip that showed Clara kissing the Doctor. Did you guys see that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But it was like a quick kiss, like a kiss between friends, and the Doctor looks completely shocked by it. But, it wasn't like a romantic kiss at all, so I don't think we have to worry. I think it was like a Christmas kiss. It wasn't... Yeah.
Claire, I'm not your boyfriend. Again.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe the episode will air and the music in the background of that scene is "Don't stand so, don't stand so, Don't stand so close to me.
What bus stop? She's standing.
His TARDIS is warm and dry.
Oh God! Now my no. Oh, I got to get it out. Out of the head. No.
You
Let's
started
move
it.
on.
You started it.
Let's move on to more
good.
news.
Happy last
Actually,
week.
Moffat had a lot to say this week. There was news about stuff he was saying all over the place. One of the things he was talking about was the possibility of a female doctor. And he was saying that if you notice in the last story that when the doctor meets Missy and finds out that she's the master, he doesn't really seem to care that his friend is now a woman. So he said we should assume that the doctor doesn't think it's a very unusual thing and that we should just think that gender is fluid on Gallifrey, that it really doesn't matter one way or the other. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I got no problem with it. Just keep it
Okay.
simple, I think.
Yeah. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I mean, if you want to change his gender, fine, but give us a good story and, don't just have it degenerate into stupid gender swap jokes. Or, ooh, we have a female doctor, so we're going to take this 20-something British actress, and she's going to be the new doctor.
I wouldn't mind that. Look, Claire.
We
I've
know
got
you
etheric
wouldn't mind.
Look, Claire, I've got etheric beam locators. I think I found the on switch.
Oh,
Watch a cursive fatal death if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't. I might have to find that. Oh, well.
Way better. Probably on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Moffat, he also talked about some of the loose ends in Series 8. One of them was, how can Orson Pink exist if Danny is dead? And basically he said that obviously Orson comes from another branch of the family. And he says, what other explanation is there? And Clara probably got in touch with the family after the events of Death in Heaven, and told them about what Danny did and why. And then she would also give him the little soldier, that became the family heirloom, because she knows that the soldier has to be in the family because she knows that Orson Pink has to eventually get it. But he says that's what, is obvious to him, but he's not saying that it's right. So he's like, it's not actual, it's not, nothing is actual until it's in the show. So
God. Oh,
it's a typical
man.
Moffat answer, It's like, well, here, this is what the obvious thing is, and this and this and this. But I'm not saying that's how it is.
It sounds like it sounds a bit like a dodge, like oh well, it's obvious that he's just from another branch of the family, covering up the fact that where they were writing Death in Heaven and Dark Water, and Danny Pink dies, and somebody said, "Wait, stop! What about Orson?" And it's like, oh darn it, don't! And then all of a sudden, when confronted with it, it's, well, obviously has to come from another branch of the family. In his head, he's thinking, yes, that works. Yes, that's it. Another branch of the family. Yes. I don't know why I started talking like Beast Wars Megatron. Yes.
Trish, the news. More news.
Morning. Well, Moffat, he's tried to clear up a few other things. He said that the half-maced man would have likely been killed by Missy rather than converted. And he said that he wasn't sure about that line in Dark Water, with the Doctor being able to snap his fingers to open the TARDIS, in the scene that Claire is throwing the keys away. But he thought that it was ultimately unnecessary. And then sadly...
I still want an answer to that, though. It's just like he's been snapping his fingers forever, and then all of a sudden, whoops, I threw the keys out. You can't snap your fingers anymore?
Yeah.
That's
well, I guess since the scene ended with, oh, it was all an illusion, there was no need to do the finger snapping thing.
Not only that, you mentioned that Moffat was closing up loose ends. How about the last 4 seasons or series that we've had that have loose ends?
Yeah.
Worried about Series 8. How about Series 5, 6, and 7 along the way up? The ducks are still a little myth that they don't know why they're not in the duck pond. I mean, really.
Or, gee, why does he have Capaldi's face? Kind of didn't answer that. Just did a whole speech about attack eyebrows.
And the last thing he spoke about, which made me very sad, was that he ruled out the theory that was going around that it was really the Osgood Zygon that got killed and not Osgood herself. And he said, no, it really was Osgood, because a Zygon wouldn't have been killed so easily.
He could tell me that the world was round and and the sky was blue, and I would have to look outside and make sure. I can't read his stuff anymore.
Yeah, honestly, that makes me mad because it feels more like Moffat is trying to put his foot down and stick to his guns, despite the fact that fans were like, oh, how could you kill Osgood? It sounds like he's heard arguments like the one that I made when we were talking about it, that, it just sounds like such a cheap thing to do, And, he's just putting his foot down and being like, no, it is actually Osgood. Get over it. It sounds like what he doesn't want is the fan base to think that they can whine and cry at him and that he'll buckle. This is him trying to stick to his guns, even though the decision, at least in my opinion, was wrong. Of course, if he leaves and we get a new showrunner, then, maybe we could send them the message, hey, can you please bring back Osgood and, take back what Moffat said, please, pretty please, with sugar on top.
Now, Moffat has also responded to complaints that Doctor Who is too dark, especially for the kids.
Funny because all the fans were asking for that.
Yeah.
We need a dark, older Doctor. Now we got one. No, we don't need a dark, older Doctor anymore. Yeah. That was good for one episode.
But he said, well, do a bit of research and look at what kids are reading right now. A lot of young adult literature is very dark. I mean, Harry Potter's pretty dark. And he said not everything in the series was dark. What about Robots of Sherwood, Time Heist, and The Forest of the Night? They did a lot of silly things, as he called it.
Well, my response to, the show has gotten too dark. Gee, does anybody remember Horror of Fang Rock? In which, let's see, how many guest characters died in Horror of Fang Rock? I don't know, all of them? It's like, wow, how quickly we forget. It's like, you want to see dark. You want to see dark Doctor Who? Okay, give us a minute. Give us a minute. We'll give you a huge list. How about the scenes in The Matrix and Deadly Assassin? Oh, wow. Everybody forgot about that. Like the Twisted Clown. Or, I don't know, the cliffhanger with the Doctor being drowned.
I guess he's relating more to the current audience than the past audience. We have more current audience who either have not seen or have yet to see the classic series that you and I grew up with. And even then, that's what's so great, I think, about Doctor Who is you can actually have dark and comedic in the same episode. You can be laughing your eyes out crying, or you could be bawling your eyes out crying in the exact same episode. And some episodes you continue to bawl your eyes out, and some episodes you continue to laugh the tears out, but somehow or another you're going to cry.
Christian, to respond to what you're saying, okay, let's focus on a new series. How about the end to Family of Blood? That was pretty dark.
It was very dark.
You had the Doctor, let's see, throwing somebody into space. Somebody else, he froze them and turned them into a scarecrow, trapped another one in a mirror. I mean, come on. Or how about almost the entire episode of Turn Left? That was pretty dark.
That was really dark. That's one episode I really dislike.
No, I get what you're saying on those accounts, but it was more geared to the Doctor taking care of the bad guys. Not only that, remember, he still gave him a chance. He still said, if you don't do this, I will stop you. I think the best relationship with that was School Reunion, when he's having the fight between the principal and him walking around that swimming pool. And he goes, if I don't like this, I'm going to stop you. You get one chance, and that's it.
Yeah.
And this particular Doctor, it's been a little bit harder for me to swallow, but I finally got it when they did The Mummy on the Orient Express, where it seems to appear he has a callous for life, for anybody's life. It's just like, I'm using you as a tool to figure out what's happening. But we finally get that resolve at the end and go like, you know what, I have to make decisions, good or bad, I have to make them. And the toughest part is I sometimes have to make those bad decisions. I wish that was revealed episode 1 and 2, then I could understand the Capaldi Doctor. So the darkness still worked, and I appreciate him more, but until then, I thought he was just, Dr. House, which Moffat has finally said, yeah, this is what I was mirroring him from. So now that we got that reveal, I'm fine with it.
Moffat says that he wrote Capaldi's Doctor, and this is a quote, to slap the audience awake. Because he said that he thought the show was getting too cozy with Matt and David. And when you get too cozy with the show, then you get closer to the death of the show. He wanted to make this first season just a kind of slap in the face, but he said that next season there's going to be less shocking moments from the Doctor because, we've done that this season. And now that we've done that and we accept him as the Doctor, we don't have to have all these moments of like, well, what's he going to do now? He's not going to act like Matt or David, so they can take him to new places now. And he also wants to focus next season on the relationship between the Doctor and the companion, whoever that companion may be, because Moffat still will not confirm whether or not Jenna-Coleman is going to be in it or not. But he says that he feels like this, like their relationship between the Doctor and Clara, that it was the realest relationship between the Doctor and a companion that has ever been written. He says that he feels like what we saw is how it would really be. that it was very real.
Really?
I don't know. That's what he said.
I've never
Like,
actually seen any of the companions splinter themselves through his timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was last season. You're talking season 8.
Yeah.
But he says like their whole relationship, like how she reacted to him and their whole back and forth.
I'm going to be honest,
It
if that was a
very
real relationship, I think Tegan and the Fifth Doctor had more of a relationship. The only thing is, just like Clara, I don't understand what they were still doing in the TARDIS. You're just yachting and moaning about the Doctor, but somehow or another you want this lifestyle. And even Tegan at one point, I'm like, get off. Just like, if you don't like this, get off.
Well, that's what she ended up doing. She said, my aunt always said, stop doing something when it stops being fun. Doctor, this has stopped being fun. So she did. She did put her money where her mouth is. Once it stopped being enjoyable, she left.
Yes, I don't ever remember when it was enjoyable for her. Somebody point me that episode, please.
Oh, did you guys see the so-called report from the Mirror that was posted up this week? They were reporting that Doctor Who was being moved to a new time slot because it was a ratings flop, even though just the week before the BBC was saying that it was a triumph.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the Mirror gets off, Well, of course, it's the Mirror, but...
Yeah.
I think they're gearing that ratings flop to, if we were to take the season and put it up against other seasons, if we were just looking at the TV series, we were looking at I guess what we can call the television box series, but when you post up iPlayer and all that and put it all together, they match.
Yeah.
The ratings come to its fruition, so...
And it doesn't sound, and I don't think the BBC, I don't think the powers that be at the BBC would be the type of people to publicly BS and go, oh no, it's a success, it's awesome, we love it, oh, we're having the best time ever. While they may try to downplay, I don't think they would just out and out fib and act like it's all good if there was a problem.
I don't think anybody wants to be the next Michael Grade at this point.
Yeah.
Regardless of the ratings.
Yeah.
I just don't think anybody wants to be there.
But, Michael Grade or no Michael Grade, the nature of the beast is that if, the ratings haven't been so hot, while they may not do a hue and cry and be like, oh, woe was me, they will acknowledge it, but just kind of downplay it. But the BBC, was acting like they were acting happy as a clam. So I find it very hard to believe what the Mirror is saying.
And if BBC was so disappointed, then why would they have announced that they're planning to build a £1 billion resort, a theme park and a holiday resort that'll be open in 2020 that is going to revolve around Doctor Who, Sherlock, and Top Gear? Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah,
I actually did. I saw it, but I wasn't exactly sure that where did the source come from? Do you remember? Because when I first came across it, I was just like, you got to be kidding me. And I was like, the 3 shows that they picked, I'm like, well, first of all, will Sherlock be on top as it is now in the year 2020? Will anybody remember that? Because that's the hardest thing about theme parks.
Well, the theme park so far said the new London Paramount Entertainment Resort. It's going to combine the glamour of Hollywood and the best of British culture. So it's not going to totally revolve around Doctor Who, Sherlock, and Top Gear, but those are going to be some of the main attractions.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So it's going to, revolve around Hollywood in a way. So I'm guessing it's going to kind of be like a Universal Studios type of park.
They just keep it Doctor Who themed. So the hotel lobby's bigger on the inside. I mean, what's the scoop out of here?
Well, instead of a mint on your pillow, you get a jelly baby.
I want an adipose running around.
No, the adipose, they have those running around the gym.
It's going to be in Kent, which I'm not exactly sure my geography on the UK, but I'm guessing Kent is in a warmer climate area of England. But, I mean, if they're going to spend £2 billion on building a park and that's going to feature Doctor Who, I don't think that they're upset with the ratings.
Yeah. I'm just curious as to what kind of attractions are going to be talking about here. Is it going to be roller coaster type things? Is it going to be stuff kind of a la Star Tours and soaring where it's like up on a screen and, you're kind of jostled around? I mean, I'm curious to see.
Umbrella ride.
Oh,
it just goes around the circle. You fly like Mary Poppins.
Well, I can't wait to see what happens with it. But, I mean, if it comes out and it's really cool, definitely going to have to think about trying to get over there to see it. Yeah. And I saw another story that I know I posted it to your Facebook, Eddie, because I thought that you would really get a kick out of it, about the new series of novels that are going to feature the brig.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That comes out February 22nd of next year, which is actually the same day that Nicholas Courtney actually passed away. 4 years ago. So far, there's 4 novels. One's called The Forgotten Son. Another one is Horror of Det Sen. Then the shitzoid Earth.
Good language.
Okay. And mutually
You heard
assured
me.
domination. I did, but
Okay.
you know what? If you want to figure out how to a better way to pronounce it, go ahead.
Oh, no. I want you to walk into that mess. I just want to watch on the sideline.
Okay, what was the last one?
Mutually assured domination.
Huh. Okie dokie.
One novel is going to be released each quarter of the year, so every 3 months one will come out. So, and it's supposed to take place after the events of the Web of Fear.
But before Spearhead from Space.
It just says after the events of the Web of Fear, so I don't know.
Okay. So, yeah, it would be interesting if these novels take place like before Spearhead. It would be interesting to see the Brigadier as like the main character and how he deals with stuff when he doesn't have the Doctor running around.
Those will be interesting to read. Now, on a sadder note, we lost a Who actor this week, an actor by the name of Tom Adams. He passed away at the age of 76. He was in Warriors of the Deep. He played Commander Vorshak, but he was better known as he was in the film The Great Escape.
Oh, who did he play in The Great Escape?
He played Di Nemo. He was known as Diversions.
Oh, yeah. I think I know the character that they're talking about. Have either of you guys ever seen that movie?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
I've seen it. Great movie. And, he's in good company because he was there with James Garner, Charles Bronson, James Coburn, Donald Pleasance, Richard Attenborough. The film's got an all-star cast. And, of course, one of the most famous scenes is Steve McQueen on the motorcycle. Great movie. If you have to leave a legacy, that's a good one.
Going to the opposite here, we have some birthdays coming up. On December 17th, Jacqueline Hill, who played Barbara Wright.
I think it's kind of interesting that earlier in the month we had the actress who played Barbara Who in the Doctor Who movies of the 60s, the Dalek movies. We had Jenny Linden, and now we have Jacqueline Hill a few days later. That's cosmic. I mean, that's just some great cosmic irony right there.
And on December 19th, we have Matthew Waterhouse, Adric.
Ooh, maybe it's a good thing.
Maybe it's a good thing Mark's not here.
Yeah, it's a good thing. So we can actually say happy birthday, Matthew. Don't you live over by like a Waterhouse Street or like Waterhouse Avenue?
I do. Down the block, I have a
just
street
rub
called
it in.
Waterhouse.
Just
Yeah.
rub
Yeah. I just kind of wonder. I mean, did somebody who named that street, were they an Adric fan? Let's give him a street. Let's give him a street in Reno.
On December 24th, we have John Levine, played Sergeant Benton.
Sergeant Benton.
And on December 25th, on Christmas, we have George Moffat, who played the Doctor's daughter, Jenny, and who's also Peter Davison's daughter.
And David Tennant's wife.
And David Tennant's wife, yes.
And the mommy to Little Tennant.
Only in Doctor Who could you be wife and daughter at the same time.
Only in Doctor Who. Yeah.
Only in Doctor Who.
Of course, I don't know. There's like I have this image in my head of like, Peter with his wife, and there's like the baby. It's like, Merry Christmas, honey. We have a daughter. And she just looks and goes, shut up. I wanted to celebrate Christmas by the nice, calm Christmas, and instead I had to be in labor. Nice going, Doctor.
And finally, on December 29th, we have Bernard Cribbins, Wilf. And
What's
Tom
he gonna
Campbell
be?
in the Doctor Who.
Another Doctor Who Dalek movie connection, Tom Campbell.
I'm not sure how old he's going to be, though.
He's got to be 80-something. He's got to be crumping up there.
Well, that is all the news we have for today. I know it was a lot, but we got through it.
We managed to get through it without Daddy around. See?
Why are we calling him Daddy? I don't want to call him Mark
No,
Daddy. That's not good. I don't like that.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
Oh, and Bernard Cribbins is going to be 86 years old.
Ah, okay.
Ed, what do we have coming up?
What do we, Senorita Patricia, what do we have coming up? Well, first, we go to the commercial. But then when we come back, we have something especial for you, the Whovian audience, because we have an interview with Torchwood actress Arlene-tur. In addition to playing dr-vera-juarez, she is also, like Eduardo-m-Freyre, a fellow Cuban. So prepare for the Cubanization of Mark-Who 42. There will be cafecitos and tostadas and croquetas for all. We will be right back here on the Krypton Radio.
Ed, that is the best vampiric accent I have ever heard in my entire life.
Oh, don't make me come over there and smack you.
Attention all Whovians! While you're waiting for the new episode of Doctor Who, start your own adventures with a book from Mark-Who 42 Books. They carry unique and rare books at affordable prices. Visit Amazon.com/shops/Mark-Who42. That's Amazon.com/shops/Mark-Who42. Marku 42 Books. Set your imagination free into the WHOniverse.
Pixels in the Animation is the Geekcast Radio Network's video game cartoon review show. We are covering every episode of 9 different video game cartoons. Join TV's Mr. Neil and myself, TFG and Mike, as we trek through multiple Mario tunes, Zelda, Captain N, Mega Man, Sonic, and we are also driving through Donkey Kong Country. Pixels in the Animation is 100 episodes of video game cartoon goodness, so tune in to help us find the Pixels in the Animation, which you can find every Wednesday on iTunes and www.geekcastradio.com.
The Pull Bag is the GCRN's place for everything you need in the comic book world. We focus on new and current comics, while also tackling a few back issues here and there. So join the entire GCRN crew and see what issues the hosts have with today's panels. You can find the Pull Bag on iTunes and geekcastradio.com. Make your great escape into comics.
This is Christopher Dane on Mark Who 42, wishing you a Merry Christmas.
Bienvenidos a Mark Who 42. Yo soy Eduardo-m-Freyre. Why did I do that in Spanish?
Yeah,
well,
I
because,
wonder why.
Well,
Still laughing
the
too
reason
hard.
I did
I'm
it in
sorry.
Spanish, and the reason that I'm welcoming all the listeners to Mark Who 42's WHOniverse on Krypton Radio, is because we have a very special guest, one who actually comes from where I come from, Miami, Florida, and that is Arlene-tur, who played Dr.
Vera-Juarez.
Vera-Juarez in Torchwood Miracle Day. Arlene, it is with great humility to welcome a fellow Miami Cuban to the show. Welcome to the show.
Yay, thank you. I'm so excited, you guys. This is fun. I'm very, very excited. Is this the first time we've ever done Mark Who 42 in Spanish, the intro?
Yeah.
that's
we
the
haven't been
first time.
simulcast
That's the
in
first
Spanish
time.
before, but I think
Yes.
we're going to this time.
I love first.
Yep, we need, it's just too bad that we're not actually recording this live in Miami, Florida, because we could do it at La Carreta over Cafecito.
That's
Give these guys some pastelitos.
Get a little
salsa.
salsa band going in the background.
Oh, yeah.
You guys gotta slow down. I got the Google Translate going on here.
Yeah, and then a couple of the viejitos, talking in the background.
That's
Oye,
right.
¿qué pasa con ese ahí? ¿Quién es Doctor Who?
All the little men playing dominoes talking trash.
Domino! Yes!
I'll be in my corner dressed like the bee, okay?
Arlene, for our listeners who may not have seen Torchwood Miracle Day, can you tell us, and don't know who you are, can you tell us a little about yourself?
Okay, well, I was Dr. Vera-Juarez in Miracle Day, and I was the doctor who was all upset and searching for justice while this phenomenon was happening, where people were they failed to die, and we were being challenged with the question of immortality. So it was going to the doctor panels and seeing how we we're going to deal with it as a society.
And unfortunately, you came to a really sad end.
I did.
Oh, it was horrible.
In typical Russell Davies style,
Yeah.
right?
Deep
Yes.
fried.
No, I got shot twice and then burned.
Yeah.
Deep fried.
Now, if I'm correct, because if the human cells were supposed to stay alive, when you were Ash, weren't you still alive?
I'm still here,
I think
right?
I think Vera-Juarez is still alive somewhere
It's a miracle.
in the Torchwood universe.
It's a freaking miracle. Bring her back. No, you know what I've seen? I've seen a lot of people tweeting recently about bring back Torchwood, bring back Torchwood.
Oh, it would be great.
Oh, we're
We're definitely on board with that.
No, I heard there was a rumor that Russell was going to make a film next. Have you guys heard anything about that?
I have not, and
No.
so that's the first we've said it on Marku 42.
Nada.
Cool. Exclusive.
All right.
That would be cool if it happened.
I know.
There could be scenes in the past, and you could be still in it.
Yeah, or my ashes might just
Or your
be
ashes could still
screen.
be in it, and maybe they talk. Maybe you could do voiceovers.
Oh my god.
Hold on. Actually, wait. I think we have a perfect way to get her back.
Okay.
Remember that Eve Miles, Gwen from Torchwood, that she was in Doctor Who, and her
Right.
Doctor Who character was an ancestor to Gwen.
Uh-huh.
We could have Arlene back. This could take place in the future, so it could be, I don't know, it could be Dr. Juarez's daughter, or it could take place in the past. It could be her mother. Come on, this
Yeah.
Torchwood came off of a show of time travel, so Come on, that opens the doors here.
Arlene, I have a question for you. You were born and raised in Miami. Did you watch Doctor Who on Channel 2?
I did not.
You did not? No!
You guys, no, honestly, I'm going to be completely honest. I was not a big Doctor Who fan, nor really heard of it until Torchwood. I'm so embarrassed.
No, don't be embarrassed.
Just recently, I started researching because I was really looking forward to our interview, and I was figuring out who's my favorite Doctor. What I saw the first episode, which was amazing, from the '60s. I fell in love with that Doctor.
William Hartnell, an earthly child. Yeah.
Yeah, he was so great, so charming. I love his giggle.
I think this is the first time anybody has actually liked the first Doctor's giggle. Never heard anybody saying, I love the first Doctor. He's a great giggle.
Oh, my God. That's another first. Yes. Oh, no, but I started studying, and I heard you had Ianto, right, in the interview?
Yeah, we had Ianto.
One of the interviews.
Yeah, I researched.
We had Gareth. We had Gareth on the show. Yeah.
Gareth. Yeah, I looked up his stuff as well. He was great. He had such a great rhythm about his acting.
Unfortunately, they killed him off before you came off.
I didn't meet him. I know. And, of course, Russell, I heard that there was an uproar. The fans were very upset.
Yeah. Well, there was an uproar when you died, too.
It was very sad.
How was John Barrowman to work with?
Oh, my God. John is a trip. He is so crazy. I just loved him. There's never a dull moment on set, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Even the table reads were out of control. I mean, Russell and Julie, who was producing, it was just very un-Hollywood, which was very refreshing.
Yeah.
Bringing the people from BBC over was so relaxed. I mean, they were usually when you have all the department heads together, which means, makeup and costume and just the set design and art design. Everybody sits there and we have a table read just to, iron it out and see what it's going to sound like and hear it out loud together for the first time. And usually there's a little bit of stress, in the air, and you can feel people are tense. But in this case, oh my gosh, Russell just puts down the script and says, we're here to have fun. And I just want everybody to relax and blah, blah, blah. And then everybody starts laughing. John starts running around. Eve is screaming. It was just such a trip.
Did John play any practical jokes on you?
On me? No, not on me, but he was quite the jokester. Yeah. We'd always have an antic, something new every table read or every day. It was very fun.
What is a favorite backstage moment that you had with the team?
Oh my gosh. Favorite backstage moment. There was so many. I have this image that I can't get out of my head that's pretty funny, and I don't know if I should say it. But I guess now I have to say it, don't I?
No, you do. You brought it up. You got to do it now.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was on a table read, and we were just running around having breakfast, and then John is like, everybody, okay, I got a trick. I want to show you my new trick. I'm like, okay. Everybody turns around, and he's like, watch this. And he's like, dun, 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 dun. He sings a little song, peels a banana, and swallows it whole practically. And we're like,
oh my God. Oh God.
We apologize to our younger viewers on Krypton Radio.
No, bananas
it's just a banana. It's just a banana.
But bananas are good. They're a good source of potassium.
Potassium, yeah.
Brought a banana to a party, so I guess he filled his obligation there.
Exactly. No, but everybody was very fun. Eve was very, very fun. And I have to tell you, she's about just the most natural actress I've ever worked with. Like, she's just so in her skin, and the sweetest person. And so is Kai. They were great. They were a great team.
Now, how did you come across getting the role? And were you familiar with this thing called Doctor Who and Torchwood? Did you know about its history, at least?
I did not. I researched it when I got the audition.
Well, how did you get the audition? Can you tell us about your audition process?
The audition was given to me through my agent, and then I read it. I loved it. Oh my God, my scene was one of the longer ones that's talking about 24 hours, nobody's died. And I just basically monologue. I rehearsed it like crazy. By the time I went in, I knew it forward and backwards and in Spanish, so I was very comfortable.
Muy bien.
But then instead of going like a doctor, suited up, I wore something like scrubs, except I didn't have scrubs, so I was like in an Adidas running suit.
Nice.
I wanted it to look comfortable like scrubs. However, the casting director said, Arlene, they said that you weren't like professional enough, but I think that you could look professional. Why don't you dress up really nice when you come to the office? So I went and I met with John and Julie and everybody, and I did it again, and I was in a white, nice suit. And they were like, oh, thank God. Because I didn't look like I just rolled out of bed. But no, I got the role even before they had cast Mackay. Actually, I had to. They brought me in as well to do a chemistry read with a couple of actors, and I hadn't read with Mackay, but they gave it to Mackay, and that was fun.
Yeah,
it's very fun.
It was a great show. I loved Miracle Day.
How far going in did you know was going to happen to your character? Did you know when you got the part? Or
I knew when they got the part. I guess I didn't want to get my hopes up, which was very nice. That was very Russell Davies. He said, you know what? It's 5 episodes, and you're gonna die in flames. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And there's always that hope as an actor that they'll keep you on. Oh my gosh, they're really gonna like me, and then maybe they'll extend my life. Not Russell. Russell's like more uproar, like the more uproar he can cause in the fans. I think he knows that's good TV.
At least you knew going in, because I know of shows where the cast finds out because they get a phone call and it's like, sorry, but yeah, the next scene we're gonna shoot, you're gonna die.
Oh, that's the worst. That's happened to some friends of mine. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Now, when you were young, you weren't always trying to be an actress. You actually went to, I think, FIU?
I did.
I went to FIU.
So did I. Which campus?
I went to both. Yeah,
I took most of my courses in the North Miami campus.
I did the UP campus, the one over by the youth fairgrounds.
Yeah, I did both. I started in UP and then went to the North campus because I specialized in marketing and public relations.
But then you became a professional beach volleyball player. Tell us about that.
Volleyball. I was always playing volleyball since I was 12, really, because I played all the sports that my school had to offer. So I played volleyball, softball, and basketball. Basketball not being my best sport for sure, but the other two I kept playing all through high school. And then I had a choice to pick if I was going to go into volleyball or softball for college. I had scholarships for both, and I picked volleyball. Yeah, and then I just was playing beach ball all throughout, beach volleyball, and that escalated. And I trained with the AVP players, but I never went all the way because I noticed that what happens to your body and how it's not that lucrative after a while. I mean, in the sun for 8 hours a day and jumping up and down, your knees go, your skin goes, and it's not like a huge paycheck. It's not like tennis or golf where you're okay if you're in the top.
But when you were playing volleyball, you were approached by some agents, weren't you?
Yes, it's very funny, very funny. There was this like really cheesy volleyball tournament where the modeling agencies were trying to see who has the best model volleyball players. So my agent, being sneaky deaky as she is, and I love her, she decides to get ringers, and she goes out to the volleyball court. She's like, I'm just going to make real volleyball players models so we can win.
Okay.
So that's what happened. And she made me a card, a fake modeling card. And then, I mean, we won. She had like 3 ringers in there. We won. and then after, yeah, she did a good job, huh? And then after all, she said, hey, why don't you model? And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? No way. That was just so far from what I was thinking for myself. But then I did. And then I started booking a bunch of commercials. And then it just escalated. I got my first TV show. And I said, well, this is the direction we're going for right now. So I might as well ride the wave. And it's been fun.
You started on Spanish TV, on Telemundo.
Absolutely.
Loved watching Telemundo. I had no idea what I was watching, but I loved watching it.
I get it. What was it like transitioning from Telemundo to English-speaking roles?
Well, you know, it was. I had a kind of a Spanglish-speaking character in Telemundo, and it was Telemundo with NBC, and it was their first shot at doing something original for that age range, and it was kind of a mix between 90210 and Friends. And it was hilarious. I was Valeria, and I was the one that was like the very plastic one of the friends.
Plástica.
Sí, super plástica.
Plástica.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta find. Is this on Hulu? Can I find this show?
You know what?
Anywhere?
You guys, I think it's on YouTube, but I think the only thing that's available is in German or some crazy.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't
We're
know.
just
Don't
covering all the
mention the
cultural
war.
diversities here.
Wow.
It's hilarious.
Un cubana hablando German. Okay, fine. All right. Sure. Sure. Why not?
They're like, the Germans are going to love this. It's going to make us a lot of money out in Germany. I don't know.
Germans will watch anything.
Oh.
They will.
They like
They'll
Doctor
do
Who
anything
now.
too.
They're getting.
They do they?
They're watching Doctor Who in Germany now.
I love Germans, you guys.
Yes.
We love Germans.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Have you
So,
started?
guys, I have a question. Favorite doctor?
Oh.
Now that I started looking into all the doctors and I have my favorites, I haven't seen them all. What are your favorite doctors?
Well, my favorite Doctor was my first Doctor, which would be Tom Baker. New series, I go with David Tennant, but Peter Capaldi, I think, is going to go ahead of David pretty soon.
Really?
Yeah. I love the way he portrays the Doctor. The first few stories of the new season I didn't like that much, but the end of the season got really good, and Peter is just great in the role.
Yeah, I really liked him. I saw only a couple scenes, and I'm like, I saw the transformation scene, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And he was just extremely charming. I mean, but you know what? He's the 12th Doctor, right?
Well, yeah. He's the 12th Doctor or the 14th Doctor if you want.
Don't confuse the.
I won't try. Okay, she's the 12th
From the
Doctor.
Moffat world.
12th Doctor.
I looked it up. And then it says some people say that he's the 14th, and I'm like, oh my.
Yeah, because David Tennant counts as 2, and the War Doctor counts as 1, and so that would make him 14.
Okay.
It's timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly garbage, really. He's the
Okay.
12th Doctor. He's the 12th Doctor.
Exactly. It's like, okay, so it's like wine. The more you know, the more you don't know anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, okay, so I'm looking forward to spending some nights getting to know Peter, for sure. Over some wine, perhaps.
Oh, definitely. Have some cheese, too.
Yeah, why not?
Queso.
Queso blanco.
There you go.
I really liked the first Doctor, actually.
William Hartnell?
Yeah, I loved him. I liked him, and I liked the guy with the big white hair, John
Pertwee.
Oh, John Pertwee. Yeah, he's my second favorite. My first is the 4th Doctor. In fact, he's
Tom.
The Tom. He's almost my inspiration and my idol. I think over on my Facebook page, I have one of his quotes. You know, the one of "What's the point of being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes?"
Thank you.
I got as a Christmas present. I got like a T-shirt that has kind of his costume as the pattern, and the 4th Doctor's hat. And then
Oh my God, how cool.
Just for my birthday recently, I also got a sonic screwdriver. So I'm just in 4th Doctor love heaven.
Wow.
My second would definitely be Pertwee, John Pertwee.
Oh, I love Tom. Tom is on my list here. Tom is I have 3 stars next to Tom. I liked him that much.
Oh,
It seems like his expressions were all amazing. I want to see him a lot more. I feel like how long is it going to take me to watch all these things, you guys? Every episode.
It'll take a while because
Trisha, tell me. Trisha tried to do a whole.
Oh yeah.
Well, I haven't seen very much classic show. I started with when it came back in 2005. I went back to that season, whatever season that is, 28 or whatever, 27, and then I went from there forward. And it took me about a month and a half to get through the new stuff, and then I'm slowly going back and watching the classic stuff. But it's all good.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I would feel like I really want to start from the classics, but it's going to take me a second.
Yeah, and some of the classics don't exist anymore, so you can't watch them all.
I heard.
Just take off for a week off, have pizza delivered, and then just
and
Binge
just have
do the pee-pee dance every now and then.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
God.
might catch up in a week. You got 50 years to catch up, so.
Oh my God. Let's hope. Yes.
Well, the good news is that they're not. You don't have to watch every episode, or you'll be totally confused. So
Right.
you can take your time too.
Until you get to the Stephen Moffat years. Then if you miss an episode, you're lost.
Oh God.
That's totally.
Very true.
He totally changed the format of the show.
So Trish, who's your favorite Doctor?
David Tennant. He's my first Doctor, so yeah, I like him. I like Matt Smith as well, and I like Chris Eccleston. I like all 3 of the new guys, and Peter Capaldi. He's growing on me.
Yeah.
It's taking a little bit longer, but I think it's more the writing that's just taking me a while to get there. But like the last 2 episodes, getting into it. Yes.
Oh, good. Yeah, I like Matt a lot too. Very cool.
Yeah.
I like one of the quotes he said. I was looking in the transformation when he was like transforming. I believe it was to Peter, right?
Right.
Yeah.
When he says, we are all changing. He says, we're all different people in our lives. We keep changing and it's okay as long as we remember all the people that we used to be. That was really cool.
That was a great scene.
It's symbolic to all the regenerations in his past, so...
Christian, do you have a favorite Doctor?
Yeah, your favorite
Oh,
Doctor.
I'm going to complete the set here with the boys. It's going to be the fourth Doctor. I grew up Tom Baker. Yeah, it was just different for me because, in a weird sense, as far as heroes concerned, when I was growing up with Transformers and Superman and Batman, he actually spoke to me more than others because he didn't have the power of might. He didn't have a big old weapon or anything like that. He walked around. He just basically was the smartest thing in the room, and he could take anybody down with that. And that classic wit that he had about him, the humor that he just would just shove it in their faces with the humor that he had, it was a different type of character for me than somebody who could just fly around with super might and, take down the bad guys. Here he is. He's just a man who had the power to take down anything, and he just used his head. And I thought that was something cool.
He seemed very, very funny. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the humor. I mean, his expressions alone are just priceless.
Just a look at that, Chop Suey, the Galactic Emperor. I meant stuff like that he threw in that made me want, favor him over anybody else as far as superheroes are concerned.
And Tom Baker seems to have a little bit of that humor in real life. I saw on YouTube he hosted a panel show. Have I got news for you?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he actually brought out a little Fourth Doctor action figure. He's like, these are in stores now, and look, it's got a spare head.
But enough about Arlene. We're back to you. This is
Arlene. I have a question.
Yeah.
There is probably some people who haven't listening to us, quite a few, who haven't seen Miracle Day, and I brought that up before. You were also in a show on Starz, another show on Starz called Crash.
Correct.
And you got to work with Dennis Hopper, the late Dennis Hopper.
Yes, Dennis. Wow.
What was it like working with Dennis Hopper?
He's a legend. He was very cool. I mean, as crazy as he seemed and as rich as his life seemed and that he was very wild, he was in it. He very, very calm, very cool, very collected, off to the side, smoking his Cuban cigars. So you can imagine we had a lot to talk about. We had surprisingly a lot in common. It was very, very fun. I mean, he's just a genius. It was a pleasure to watch as an actor because he would just turn it up. I mean, from 0 to 100 in no time. He's just a genius.
And you also got to work with Eric Roberts. And then when you went to do Eat, Pray, Love, you got to work with his sister, Julia.
Julia Roberts was
got the family thing going there.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, you know what? I didn't work with Eric. I wasn't in the season. I was in the first season. I know,
but he was on the show. So you probably ran into him. Probably ran into him.
I did. I met him. But yes, Julia was very cool. She was nice, but she was also, I mean, she had a lot of responsibility, and she had 4 months of filming. I came in at the end, 4 months, and they had been to New York, they had been to Italy, they had been to India, where apparently the whole crew got sick. And, I know, right?
Lucky you then. Lucky you.
I went to Bali, so I was good to go. But I got there all bright and ready to shoot it. Everybody was kind of like not very talkative and hyper and excited, as I imagine the first month they were working on it. But yeah, she was very sweet, very nice, and also very great actress. She was darling. And also, oh my God, Javier Bardem. He was unbelievable. I mean, the guy does 40 takes of a joke and makes it funny every time and new. I mean, he was brilliant. Brilliant.
Is he as good looking in real life as he seems on screen?
Yeah, he's exactly the same. And oh my gosh, his energy is unparalleled. Like, he walked into a room and like changed the energy in the room. He's like a heart on legs.
Wow.
He's very welcoming. Same with Russell Davies, though. Same kind of powerful energy, like room changing.
I think we're all unanimously saying that we were not happy that we saw Vera go. And especially we didn't like the way Vera went.
No, the burning thing, the ashes, it just was bad. It was bad.
Warner Brother idea where if they ever brought her back and they opened up that tomb, it'd be almost like a Warner Brothers cartoon where it would just be a pile of ash and this one eyeball moving around.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then she could do the voiceover and it'd be perfect. That's what I was saying.
Perfect.
Or, as I was saying earlier, the idea of, maybe bring Arlene back and have her in Doctor Who as, like, Dr. Juarez's daughter or something.
Yeah.
Maybe she could pick up Mom's Crusade, be like, my mom was burned to death for her beliefs, I want to pick up her crusade,
Trying to save the world, and that's what she gets.
Yeah, there you go. See, get a little bit of our Latin blood in there.
Yeah.
Well, here's a good question. If somehow or another, by some act, they managed to bring Vera back, what would you have liked to have seen Vera do if the series had continued and Vera actually lived through that?
Oh.
Did you want to live forever? Do you want to be like Rex?
I wanted to be like Rex, immortal. Imagine that they made him immortal. That I really didn't see coming.
No,
we didn't.
That actually, when you first find out, I was like, oh no, come on, they really. And then it was like, no, he deserves it. He deserved it.
What?
No, it was like, we have one immortal, we don't need two, but no, Rex, the character deserved it.
Come on, the lady that he was.
I'm saying he deserved it.
She got burned, man.
Right,
Yeah, of course he deserved it.
I'm saying he deserved it. But when it happened, it was like, oh, come on. But then it changed. It was like a knee-jerk reaction was the, oh, come on.
Yeah. You wouldn't expect that. I did not see coming, for sure.
Well, that's a chef. Rex gets immortality, and Arlene gets toaster strudel.
That's just wrong.
Thank you very much.
To bring her back.
Arlene, what do you do in your spare time? What do you do in your free time?
Ooh, free time. I play. I paint. I dance. I read. I spend a lot of time with my family. I'm bi-coastal now, so I'm going back and forth to Miami, Miami and LA. And I started doing voiceover now, so I tend to practice characters. Now that you're talking about the ashes and the voiceover, you're right on. Today I was in the booth and I got to play Queen Isabella from Spain. Very melodramatic. Right? Yes, it was very fun, very funny. Yeah, when you're doing animation, anything goes. I was screaming so loud and stomping in the booth. I don't know. These people must have thought I was nuts.
When was the last time you went back to Miami?
Oh, wow. I was there a month ago, and I'll be going there in a week.
Oh, well, maybe I'll run into you.
Is there any? Are there any places that you go when you come back home? Is there any place you have to go?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like
we have
joke
a lot
about
of listeners in South Florida. We have we
joke about La Carreta and Versailles, but do you seriously try to go and get the?
I don't even have to try. La Carreta's in my house. My mom is cooking. I go out with them to the local little Cuban restaurant. I'm very, very happy there.
Arlene, we're asking these questions because we just want to hang out with you, and we got to know where you're going to be.
We got to know where to show
where
up.
to hang out with you.
Okay, well, my mom's address is.
No. We'll stop.
Ooh, don't do that, stalkers.
We'll stop right there. I understand. I understand you write as well.
I write.
Yeah.
Like rap songs or like...
script. Do you write comedy? I heard something about writing comedy.
I wrote a script a while back, but I didn't do anything with it, you guys. So it's good that you reminded me of that.
Should we take an option on this script and produce it ourselves, guys?
Well, good. I didn't even pitch it yet. You guys are great.
Hey, I trust you. You're Dr. Juarez.
Good. All right. Well, everybody, my script is sold. I'm so excited.
What's it about?
Oh, it's well, I have
about 60 pages long. Yes. Okay, but seriously,
it's about it's like a buddy comedy between a guy and a girl who are very inept stunt people in Hollywood.
Oh.
So yeah, that's all I'm going to give you because I tell it.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about money after the show.
Well, hey, can I have a part?
It's going to be expensive.
Oh.
Okay. Well, hey, can I have a part where I get put up in heavy old guy makeup and I get to be like a crazy Cuban playing domino going, oye, tú sabes el problema con este, spending that the entire time.
Oh my God, yes. And you'll be one of my stunt dummies too.
There you go. Totally. Yes.
That'll be good.
For that, I will buy script. For
emphasis on tummy, right?
Use it as a stunt dummy.
That's going to get a laugh.
Do you have any projects coming up that we can talk about?
Yeah, about that song you haven't written yet that we're going to talk about that you haven't even done yet.
Oh
just
my
want to
God.
promote it.
Right now, there's this animation that we're going to make a live action feature film. It's called The-Beach-Chronicles.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of sci-fi for you guys. It started as a novella written by Kevin Sharpley, and it was made into a short animation. And we have like Daryl Hannah, Michael Chiklis, myself.
Oh, I love Michael Chiklis.
Wild. And then it went to festivals, and now it's being adapted into a live action feature film.
Oh.
And it's about a detective that lives in Miami Beach. That he gets drawn into the battle for all existence. You know, it's a little sci-fi in there. The novel, when you read it, then you get it. It's really about the circle of life and the battle between good and evil. If you guys want to look it up, it's the-beach-chronicles.com. All the info is on there about that.
All right. And we'll definitely, when this radio show goes out, we'll put a link out on the webpage for that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm also out of Miami. I'm going to be producing a couple shows and an indie film.
Uh-huh.
So we're setting that up. One is a travel show where I'm going to be hosting celebs around the world, showing us their favorite cities a la local style.
Oh.
A local view, and a reality show that I'm producing. And there's this indie film that's close to my heart. It's set in Little Havana, and it's an immigration story. So I got my hands full there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going for Arlene-tur.
Yes. And, you know, it's an auditioning. You know how it is, auditioning every day, voiceover and film and TV. So I can't wait to see the next thing that hits as well.
Yeah.
Now, if anybody wanted to come and see you personally, is there any locations that you're going to be visiting and conventions that you'll be at?
Not right now. Not that I have on the schedule right now. The last one I went to was the one at the Comic-Con in London. That was a blast.
What was it like now that you're part of the Doctor WHOniverse, the Torchwood universe? You know, how did the fans treat you?
Oh my God, it was so beautiful. It really inspired me as far as being an actress, because sometimes you're like, well, who cares? Why am I even doing this? I could be feeding children and saving the world. Or that's how I think, right? But, I mean, just seeing everybody and how excited they were. And, I mean, I even had somebody bring me a pencil sketch of my character, Vera-Juarez, to have sign it. And it was so well done. Like, they were just great artists. And everybody was very sweet. I took so many pictures, and it was fun just playing and hanging with John and Eve and Kai out there in the gang.
Nice.
Yeah. What are you kind of the Comic-Con now? There's a Comic-Con coming up.
Oh, yeah.
November in San Diego, no?
No, I think this Wizard World in Reno.
There's so many. Do you guys dress up every time? Do you guys dress up every time you go?
I don't. I mean, I wear a pseudo Doctor Who jacket when I sell my stuff at conventions, but I don't actually cosplay.
I've done it a couple of times. Mark, Christian, and I did Florida SuperCon back in July, and one of the days I did wear my Fourth Doctor T-shirt and the hat.
Oh, cool.
That was kind of fun. I actually had people come up to me and be like, hey, can I take a picture? I'm like, okay, sure.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I did dress up once, and I was only charged with a misdemeanor for that one. But I was pretending I was going to the papal mainframe, but nobody really wanted to see me naked out there. So
I don't think so. I don't think that's.
Oh my God!
No.
I think a couple of abuelitas chased after him.
Of course.
I'm leave.
¿Cuál es tu problema, niño?
Just in
¿Dónde está tu ropa?
They're like, the nerve, que falta de respeto.
See, yeah, right.
Hey, my translator app has just gone off the fritz. So come on.
Where's the respect, son? But they say it all the time. Que falta de respeto.
Yep.
All the old ladies. It's hilarious.
We have to introduce all of these gringos to the phenomena that is, you know you're in trouble if you've lived in a Cuban household when your parents say your full name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
or of course, and what my parents taught me was if it's full name plus mother's maiden name, you're going to die.
That's right. The cinto comes out, the belt.
Yep.
You hear the leather pass through the loops.
You got it.
Yep.
I love it.
I think Arlene should be the Doctor's next companion.
Oh, you guys.
There we go.
That
love
was great.
that.
Yeah, get some Cuban going on in there. I bet you could take on Peter Capaldi's Doctor. Put him in his place.
Yeah, see, I told you I wanted to get to know Peter some. This would be a perfect way.
Or imagine her versus the Daleks. They say, you will surrender. Así no. The Daleks versus the Cubans. Oh, God.
Do one better. I think Arlene should be the next Doctor if they go female.
Yeah.
She's already
been a female doctor.
No, the Doctor.
The doctor.
Actual Doctor.
That would be amazing. From your mouth to God's ears.
Stephen Moffat, if you're listening, like we know you too. Peter's tired. Bring on Arlene. There we go.
Yes. That would be such a pleasure.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you very much, Arlene, for doing our show.
You're welcome, you guys. This has been so fun. So fun. And thank you for teaching me some more about Doctor Who and the Torchwood, even. I mean, you guys are the experts here. I studied it, but you guys really...
I don't know about that.
Come on.
And my ego just went up a few notches.
Good.
Do you want to say anything to anybody out there, Arlene? And you can say it in Spanish if you want.
Oh, well, I will always give a shout out to my mama. Mamita, te quiero, te amo. Mua, mua, mua. Eres mi todo. How's that?
That's perfect.
That works for me.
You guys seem scared there.
No.
You're like, I guess that went well. I don't
That went very well. No, it went good.
Thank you, guys.
Gracias, Arlene.
De nada. Ciao.
Well, that was, I don't know about you guys, but I had an awesome time. I loved talking to Arlene. It's nice getting a little slice of Cubanazo. That's just great. I don't know. What did you guys think?
That was very spicy.
We got to have her back. Moffat, bring Arlene-tur back, please.
Bring back as the sister or something like that, the twin sister.
Yeah, come on. Twin sister, the mom, the daughter, or just somebody entirely different. Come on, this is Doctor Who, Actors come in as like 2 or 3 different people. Jeez, bring her back. Give her a call. We want Arlene. We want Arlene. We're coming to the end of the episode, but I think before we do, I do want to put in an addendum to last week's ending conversation where we were mentioning Christmas gifts. I was actually at Barnes & Noble the other day, and what to my surprise did appear, but Engines of War, the War Doctor novel, on paperback. For $9.99. So, if you haven't had a chance to pick it up, you can pick it up now. It's at a great price, great little gift for the Whovian in your life. Or if, you want to treat yourself because you've finished battling the crazy shoppers and you've taken care of everything on your list, pick it up for yourself. But, add that to the list we mentioned last week.
That sounds good.
Any parting thoughts from the gang?
Just Merry Christmas to everybody.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, I think it's very appropriate to say Feliz Nochebuena, Feliz Navidad, have a Merry Christmas, and enjoy Puerco en la Caja China.
Mark Who 42's WHOniverse has been written and presented by Mark Baumgarten, Patricia-Helm, Eduardo-m-Freyre, and Christian-basel. This show was edited, produced, and directed by Mark Baumgarten. Please visit markwho42.net and register to join and be a part of the WHOniverse Army. We can also be heard on iTunes, the Stitcher Radio app, Podkicker, GeekCastRadio.com, and FloridaGeekScene.com, as well as many other places around the net. Tweet us at MarkWho42, and check out our Facebook page, Mark Who 42's WHOniverse. We can be contacted by email at mark@markwho42.net with the subject line, ? If you have worked on Doctor Who or are working on a project relating to Doctor Who and want to be on our radio show, please email our media relations director, Christian-basel, at markwho42media@yahoo.com. Doctor Who and its properties are owned by the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation. This show is owned and copyrighted by Mark Baumgarten, 2014. You're listening to Krypton Radio.